Yeah, so my artistic practice is focused on mixed media. I would consider myself an interdisciplinary artist. I've been working in theater for a number of years. I was working as the head of costumes at the theater department at Concordia University. So I have this real passion for textiles. As you can see in the show, there's quite a few different textures that I like to play with. And I like the work to feel very fun and theatrical, so I think that's the inspiration there. Has been working in theater a lot and the kind of larger than life kind of feeling and immersive kind of qualities. I really want to engage with the viewer in the gallery. The materials are really important in relation to kind of the context of the work. So when I'm thinking about the idea that's the driving force towards the concept, the materials have to kind of link up so that they're creating like a merging quality. And it's really important that the materiality speaks for itself as well, so that it's an opulent experience for the viewer. It's really important that they feel like they're present in the gallery. So I want the lighting to be dramatic, so the textures really show. Depending if it's like fuzzy or smooth or silky or rough, it's really important that those qualities are very present. And also that they speak towards the topics at hand. This particular body of work is in relation to living in a digital realm as well as trying to stay grounded in the physical reality, and how that influences me and people around me and affects our connectivity to each other. So I wanted to create works that were very physical and material based, so that while they're in the gallery, people felt like they were really present and seeing exactly what I was trying to convey, and that the works offer a physical relationship. So I wanted the works to be really big in relation to the body, so that when you approach them, you could feel their presence. It was really important for me to feel like the viewer had an opportunity to feel the weight of what I was trying to explain. Grounding ourselves in the physical reality where we are right now is actually so important to balance out how much time we're spending on our digital devices and how we're trying to communicate with people. I think that real-time experience is, for me, a much more enriching experience, and body language and environments really affect how we connect with one another. Even though it's really convenient to, Zoom meeting or FaceTime, it does help when you're far away, but at the same time there is something that's missing. And I think that what I'm trying to do with I Must Be Streaming is reminding people that that's really important and to keep that sacred, basically. I'll definitely talk about Heartfelt in relation to that work, because it was kind of part of the title, Heartfelt. It's a felt at heart, it's pretty obvious. And I was okay with that title because it was just a direct relation to what it was. That piece was actually made in response to being cyberbullied last year online. It was such a vulnerable place to be when it was kind of going on. And it kind of broke my heart a little. I was really affected by that. And I kept kind of meditating on the idea that I really feel that people need to be careful how they're communicating with each other online, and try to be empathetic towards the person you're talking to on the other end, because everybody has their own lives going on, and when you're not there beside them, it's hard to really relate. So it's good to kind of be more heartfelt when you're trying to communicate. And I was actually on a road trip and I thought, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna felt a giant heart. And I know it sounds cheesy and silly, but I think that it's going to be really resonant. So I drove directly to Maiwa in Vancouver, because they have like the most beautiful textiles and raw materials available. And I bought all this red felt. And I went home and I just started, kind of constructing this giant heart. And it felt so good to me. It felt like exactly the right thing to do. And I practiced and I learned how to hand felt, and I hand blended all the fibers by hand, and it was a real labor of love. And the whole experience was so positive that I was able to reinforce that message into my work. and feel like I was, you know, at the same time healing through that process, that it was very therapeutic, but also really stunning, you know, like that red wool is like organic, beautiful, hand spun, and I wanted to share that with people, and I wanted to remind people that beautiful work can come out of bad situations, and it's so good to be able to turn negativity into a positive thing. The idea for the mural was to encompass the gallery in the patterning of a net. So in relation to the internet, but also talking about the connectivity of our networks. The mural is a full wrap of the gallery walls, and it has this kind of warping quality that distorts the architecture of the gallery. And what I'm really hoping that the viewers perceive is that the mural is there to kind of illustrate the how we're all surrounded and immersed in this reality that is half, you know, almost half digital and half physical, and how we're all kind of floating within it, and how it can really skew our perspective of what's real and what's not. There's a lot of misinformation that floats around out there, and it's hard for people to understand really what's going on. And this is just kind of a representation of that idea. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is because it's a site-specific installation and none of the works have been together before, the placement was so paramount. And I definitely switched things around a few times trying to place the works in relation to the gallery architecture. And with the mural as well, with the full wrap mural, it was a very immersive space, and I wanted the works to work with the painting. And I think that we found a real happy spot with everything in its placement there. But that was the biggest challenge. I kept like imagining it and visualizing it at home, like, okay, I kept going through the show over and over and over and over to try to feel like everybody was like, all the pieces were going to be at home, you know? But I think overall it came together really nicely. I hope that the gallery visitors really enjoy the work in a way that makes them feel happy. All the works are made for all ages in my mind. Like, I want little kids to come in and feel excited, you know? I want everybody to be able to come in and relate in a certain aspect, like, oh, I love that color, that texture's so fun. Or, you know, dig deeper a little bit and kind of get down to the undertones of what the work is really trying to say. There's lots of levels there I think people can relate with, and I want it to be very open, and I want people to imagine their own ideas in relation to the work. I think it's all about your imagination and how you can relate with it on your own terms. That's my biggest hope.